Carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
There's nothing better than a perfect cookie loaded with the finest all-natural premium ingredients. And you'll find these perfect cookies baked fresh every day at Cookie Fix. Choose from rotating flavors like classic chocolate chip, cranberry jumble, oatmeal toffee, and many others. Or take home one of their dough-to-go selections and bake them fresh at home. Cookie Fix also has cookie cakes for special celebrations, and they offer catering and shipping. Find out more and order online at cookiefix.com. In Twickenham Square, 300 Pelham Avenue. Cookie Fix. Grab some cookies and spread some smiles.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Are you tired of listening to your favorite musician sing her favorite songs? Now Tom Abraham speaks Rihanna.
When the sun shines, we'll shine together. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. Ella, Ella, A, under my umbrella. Ella, 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 A.
I like it. Good.
A. Under my umbrella, AAA. All right, you know how the song ends. Oh, baby, it's raining, raining. You could always come into me, It's pouring rain, come into me, it's pouring rain, it's pouring rain.
I probably wouldn't say that phrase like that.
Oh,
in that straight sentence.
Listen to the Tom Abraham Show, weekdays from noon till Paul on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
And away we go here on a Tuesday. Oh, if I don't break my equipment. This is why you need to come back here, Wes Neighbors. How are you, Wes?
Catch your headset when you knock it off?
I guess so. Thank goodness it's tied to my head, sort of. Anyway, big game tomorrow. We will not be on tomorrow as Alabama travels to the Plains to take on the Auburn Tigers. And later on in the program, just a shortened program. Well, what does Abraham call this? A truncated program.
Right, yeah.
He's got his own language, much like Trudy Armon has.
That's a $5 word.
Yeah. They're about 500% apart too.
Oh, there's so many directions to go with that.
I know.
Anyway, Wimp Sanderson is going to join us in about 30 minutes' time. And, of course, we're here at the Furniture Factory, so we will get our preview of the Super Bowl from
Purdy
Jen.
kind of looks like Chad's brother. Younger brother. He looks young. Look how young he looks.
Yeah, I was about to say that'd be Chad before the glasses. Chad, we have unfortunately aged Chad a good bit here at this very radio station.
No doubt. That's what happens.
Yeah.
If you don't have gray hair, we'll get it on you.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Either that or I used to have hair when I started at this radio station, and it has magically vanished. Anyway, here is a little bit of Nate Oates earlier today previewing the IBOB, the Iron Bowl of basketball.
Ourselves in a good spot halfway through conference play, but can all go backwards in a hurry if we don't come out and play well. The second half of conference play, I mean, got 3 teams that are only a game back from us in the loss column, so between Auburn, South Carolina, and Tennessee, they're all right on our heels. So, this is a big game. If we don't win, we're tied first place. If we get a win, we can separate ourselves a little bit. When we played them here, they did a good job with us. They came out, jumped on us early. I thought our guys did a good job coming back. Obviously, Ryland had a really good game. We're going to have to play a lot better in a lot of ways because they play a lot better at home. I mean, they haven't lost at home all year. I think they're the only SEC team that still is undefeated at home, so they play a lot better at home. So we're going to have to be better. But, we got 2 good basketball teams, both ranked in the top 20. This game's become a national level game, not just big game in the state of Alabama. It's a big game in the state of college basketball across the country now. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the best environments, I think, in all of college basketball over there. Their fans do a great job giving them a home court advantage, and their players play up to it. So it'll be a fun night, regardless of the outcome. But got 2 pretty even matched teams going at it.
That is a little bit of Nate Oates from earlier today, as, yes, Auburn undefeated.
He was doing this, sound like Coach Dye.
A little bit.
Before, I mean, not the voice exactly, but all the coughing and things, when he used to talk, So, that was his nervous coughing. I'd be nervous, too.
Yeah.
I've been going down to most of the games down there, and we'll be there tomorrow, and only one time, and that was last year, have we beaten Auburn down there.
And it took the likes of Brandon Miller to be on your team.
35 last night, by the way.
Yeah, his last 5 games in the NBA have been over 30 points, so it's really impressive.
But the always excited about going down there because if you win down there, you have a really, really good team. Tough game,
I'll tell you what, instead of the train, here, let's listen a little bit more of Coach Oates.
You talk about the environment at Auburn, and we've heard about that a lot. Basketball courts are the same size for everybody, and same in football. In football, the main thing you hear coaches talk about is communications. What's the main thing that being on the road makes so difficult for basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I mean, it's so loud, and they're right that the court might be the same, but the way the setups are definitely not the same. I mean, in Coleman, our first row is way off the floor. You go to Auburn, and they're a lot more like Duke, where the students are right on the floor. I think it's a great environment. I think it's what makes college basketball, having, the student section with, they're rowdy, they get after it, they're loud, and they're right on top of you. So, and then it's hard to hear yourself even think. It's hard to get play calls called. It's hard for the players to communicate on defense. It's loud. It's great. I love it. It reminds me a lot of high school gyms, just with a lot more people in there. But you kind of pack 2,000 people in a high school gym and get similar setting. Now you pack whatever they seat what is it, 8, 9, 10,000, whatever it is, and place gets loud. So, yeah, I'd say it's pretty similar, just with the volume and communicating between staff and players amongst each other. You know what, Nick, you had 2 questions too. I didn't get the second one. What was the second one?
So that little soundbite right there of high school gym is starting to gain a little traction, of calling Auburn's arena a nice high school gym, but it's starting to stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're just looking for something.
I know.
He's being very complimentary.
Oh, no, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Should be a fantastic environment tomorrow night that you will be a part of, and jealous always, because that is always a big game. I've been to one of those, but it's I'm going to be on the bus tomorrow, as I'll be on the call for UH Charger basketball coming up on Thursday on the road at Delta State. So that is coming up, but that little soundbite is starting to gain quite a bit of traction. Also starting to gain a little bit of traction, I would say the most significant news in our neck of the woods since you've been out is the Friday story that came out with the Big Ten and the SEC at least communicating on the future of collegiate sports. Did you happen to read anything? No article has written. Remember the alliance between the Big Ten and the ACC and the Pac-12.
They started stealing.
It has a little bit of that same language of the alliance, but this is basically your 2 prom kings trying to formulate a plan moving forward. And I'm sure at some point one deal is going to be better for one than the other, and all of a sudden this friendship is going to hit a speed bump.
Yeah, so tell me what the premise is.
It's basically the 2 biggest power conferences right now that we have in college sports, waiting for the NCAA to do something, getting tired of waiting for the NCAA to do something.
Do something on what?
On NIL, on the calendar.
NCAA just did something on the NIL.
What did they do?
They're about to. They're going after Tennessee.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to go after 7 or 8 more people, and everybody won't wait and let them sort this thing out. And I get it because of their past record, but they are about to do something about it. Because obviously paying some guy $8 million is not, and he's not doing. You see him on TV anywhere?
No.
There you go. So I think they're about to do something about it. You know, it's they got to build a case though, and what's happening, what NIL really is supposed to be, and what it is are 2 different things. And I think they're getting around to it finally.
Yeah.
And I hate it's against Tennessee. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be the last program. And I think they got to give time because they screwed up so bad for so long. Now they're trying to do something. But go ahead. And so the story was the Big Ten and the SEC are going to get together and what?
Nicole Auerbach, take it away.
It was kind of a formal announcement of friendship and a partnership between the Big Ten and the SEC. You know, they have been growing closer, and the commissioners have been getting along, spending a lot of time together over the last year since Tony Petitti took over the Big Ten. And the ADs in both leagues bounce things off of each other because these are 2 conferences who face similar challenges, right? Like they're dealing with the same types of budgets. They're dealing with the same types of lawsuits. So they're essentially forming this joint advisory group to look at those issues, the lawsuits that they're facing, employment model, what happens if athletes become employees, and some of those bigger problems that college sports is facing. A lot of people, including Greg Sankey, have lamented the lack of leadership, and certainly a lack of leadership from the NCAA. So I think that's what this is really about, is about these 2 commissioners, these 2 conferences trying to take the lead and figure out the future of college sports.
Oh, that's laughable. First of all, last team they Big Ten friend with, they took one whole conference and then the other conference is making less than half than what they were making, and they were friends with. Laugh out loud. That's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're talking. They always talk. These commissioners talk. They're trying to figure out how to get a hold of this.
But now it's a friendship.
Beer. Yeah, that's a joke.
Hey, this is completely different.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
heard her right there, but
Yeah.
so it's completely different from the Alliance.
Totally, completely different from the. Has to be different from the Alliance. They merged. They just took half the teams from the last conference.
That's right. Pac-12, come on over.
Yeah. After they're complaining that we took 2 teams. And we were going to take over college football, and then they took how many teams from the
Oh, goodness.
Pac-2?
Yeah.
They left 2 teams left.
Yeah. Well, there was some that went to the
And
Big
the
12,
ACC,
the others that
let me
went to
tell
the
you,
Big 10.
The ACC is just a matter of time.
You think?
Well, yeah, because they can't keep. They're losing the. They were slow to go to the network. They were 2 years behind. They're going to make a third of what the Big Ten and SEC teams are making. How long does that last? In the world of NIL, I mean, before NIL, yeah. But yeah, I think that they got serious issues, and now they're going to be suing each other. I saw where Florida State is looking for an equity partner.
Yes.
To help buy them both.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
saw that
who's
article as
FSU
well.
going to end up with? I mean, they have to go to the Big Ten or SEC. How does that work without another school in the Southeastern Conference?
Yeah.
I don't know. The coup would for the Southeastern Conference. There's 2 teams I'd take and 2 teams only at this point: Florida State and Notre Dame.
That's it.
That'd be a coup.
Yeah. No North Carolina, no Duke, no Clemson.
Well, I mean, if they all came, yeah, but I'm talking about just money wise.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense because then.
Well, if you're just strictly going money, why wouldn't it be Notre Dame and that's it?
Because you need another school to make it even, an even number.
Why?
Because you had the scheduling part of it goes wild if it's an odd number. Yeah. But you look at it, Notre Dame and Florida State, that'd be.
Developing story in front of us. South Carolina coaches are calling for a law allowing schools to directly compensate athletes. The bill would overhaul a law passed a few years ago when NIL was just getting started. Here we go.
Well, I mean, so, yeah, because I think the way Alabama's doing it, and I don't know who's paying, but they're giving each player gets $45,000.
Yeah.
And they have to do the signings, radio, and all, which makes, that's fair. That makes sense. And then any other NIL money they get has to be a real deal with, like Bryce Young had with has
Dr.
to be,
Pepper.
yeah, or the local moving company. Whoever wants to do you do a commercial, they pay you.
By the way, did you see the Georgia quarterback who's coming back? He got himself a Lamborghini today.
Good for him.
Well, considering what has gone on at the University of Georgia the last year and a half, it made me wince a little bit being a fan of the red and black just because of all the issues that has taken place in vehicles by their student athletes or their coaches.
This goes for everybody. Don't drink and drive. Yeah,
100%.
I mean,
wanted to play one other clip from Nicole Auerbach before we take our first break. Then Wimp Sanderson will join us here as we're live from the Furniture Factory. But more on the friendship between the Big Ten and the SEC.
Part of the reason that the NCAA has been a target or individuals have been targeted by different lawsuits is that they're agreeing to cap compensation or they're agreeing to have certain rules and that they are restricting the market, right? So I think, when they say, okay, we're going to make certain rules are going to be up to individual schools like NIL or conferences could set rules around certain things, it's a small enough group of people and schools that they're hoping to avoid the legal risks involved. So that's part of the concern here. And I think, again, a joint advisory group, it's a governing body that isn't governing anything, right? They're going to work together, but they're not going to have any power. So they're going to lead, they're going to suggest things. But again, I think they're being really strategic here because they're fighting a lot of different lawsuits that are worth a lot of money, but they want to create some sort of solutions that are workable for their schools. And obviously they're dealing with that top 1% of athletes that are making the most money off of NIL, that are going to run into issues with these major lawsuits about back pay, salaries. They've got those football players that are the ones who are stressing the system in terms of money. So they want to be the ones creating solutions instead of Charlie Baker and the NCAA suggesting things that they maybe or maybe don't want to pay for.
So, again, that is Nicole Auerbach.
Well, here's the thing. NIL, the rule is the NIL is name, image, and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be selling your name, image, and likeness. And it has to be, to me, there's 2 points. You paying the players or you didn't have NIL. They can't be both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
NIL is something that you're allowed to do. You're allowed to sell your name, image, and likeness. But if nobody's doing something in return and they're just paying you, that should be illegal. And that's what's happening. And that's not pay for play. That's pay to show up.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. In my mind, anyway.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Try to reach out to Coach Wimp Sanderson. He's at a high school game tonight. In fact, there's a lot of area tournaments going on. In fact, we're walking you up to Buckhorn's championship game as well.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
AL cert number 21014.
Are you looking to keep that love of your life warm on this Valentine's Day without the high cost? Make sure you give Talent Heating and Air a call today. Thomas, you guys have the options to keep the love warm.
Yeah, that's right. We have one of our steamiest deals ever at $2,000 off.
That's a Valentine's Day special worth celebrating. How do they find this?
All they have to do is go to our website or give us a call. That website's talenthvac.com or 256-503-4490.
Chocolate, roses, and a heater. All courtesy of Talent Heating and Air. One more time.
talenthvac.com.
And you can give them a call today.
256-503-4490.
Love me sexy.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 2.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends February 28th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Cover charge. Come as you are.
Guessing we're back on the air here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you, and always fun to talk basketball with our next guest, and that is Coach Wimp Sanderson, who's kind enough to join us. How are you, Coach?
Doing fine, thanks. Doing good.
Well, here we go again with another Alabama-Auburn matchup, and It's starting to get some national attention now, Coach.
Well, I think both teams are good. Every year they've been good every year for a long time, and I think it'll be an interesting game. It was a squeaker in Tuscaloosa. Alabama just got by that one, and it'll probably be another squeaker. The home court advantage, in Auburn's favor this time, and that counts for a little bit. Doesn't count for all of it. It's got to play well, but should be a very interesting game.
Well, Coach, how would you assess how Alabama's been playing the last really month and a half?
Well, they played really well. They've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat, and then also gotten by some that could be anybody's game. They played well. They've got a good team. They've got good quickness, and Mark Sears is a good player, but Estrada's good too, and they're playing well. They're got a good chance to go along. Sunday they'll get both Auburn and Alabama will get the NCAA bid. You don't ever know what kind of bid that will be. Sometimes you get seeded good, sometimes you don't get seeded too good. So as far as the 18-game round robin they're playing now, I would guess, if I just have guessed, and I could be off a game, I would say 14-4 wins it. And there may probably be 2 teams at 14-4. Somebody 15-3 may win it. Alabama has the best record right now through the first 9 games because they only lost the 1 game. Everybody else has lost a couple. Alabama has Tennessee at home. A game they can win if they play well, and although it's a tough game there, and then they go to Auburn and to Kentucky. And so those will be 2 interesting games for us. I think 2 of the games that people have miscounted, and Auburn got by one of them the other day, would be Florida and Ole Miss. I think Florida and Ole Miss are good enough to beat you if you don't play, and you go in thinking it's going to be not so tough a game. Those are 2 very hard games, I think, and Auburn got by a good Ole Miss team in Oxford. Their first loss the other night. Florida is a little bit better than I thought they were to start the season. I thought they were midway bottom, but they're better than that. So Florida Ole Miss games will be tough games. Now Auburn's got to do one of those because they've already beaten Ole Miss, so they've got to play Florida. And of course, Alabama has Florida and Tennessee twice. They've got to do one of the Tennessee games, so they're through there. And should be. I studied the schedule pretty much. And you can't really tell. You have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and then sneak by somebody maybe that you're not supposed to beat, or that's going to be hard to beat.
So, Coach, when you watch Alabama from the beginning of the year to now, how different are they playing?
I think they got a little bit better defensively. They're very hard to defend, but the key to this game tomorrow night will be Auburn's ability to contest shots. By that I mean get in the face of Alabama's three-point shot. Alabama's got a better three-point shooting team than Auburn. Got more of them that can shoot it, I think, better. But if they're contested, and I'm not sure that Auburn contested it at Alabama quite the way Bruce wanted them to. But Alabama's improved defensively. They're very hard. They're very hard to stop on the break, and also the three-point shots they shoot it pretty well from there. So they're better. I just think they're better defensively. Maybe haven't turned the ball over quite as much this year as they did last year. But they still have, they have a couple of games besides the games I've mentioned. They've got to go to LSU and people like that. So people are attacking Alabama inside. Alco's gone, but even though Pringle's gone and not playing, the big kid from North Carolina, Stevenson, has good ability. So Auburn's playing in the last game. They played 15 people, which is a lot of people, and Alabama played 10 or 12. So they're playing a lot of people, giving a lot of people a rest. So it should be, playing at Auburn would be a plus, certainly for Auburn, like it was at Alabama, plus for Alabama. And you've got to defend without the foul. The foul's a defensive mistake. Alabama's also has been a very good free throw shooting team. They, so many times, even some of my teams didn't shoot the free throws as well as they needed to. This team shoots the free throws well, so if it gets into a late game, like it did against Mississippi State at Starkville, Mississippi State doesn't shoot the free throws very well. Alabama did, and that won that game. It's the game everybody said, well, why did Auburn lose over there? And it was kind of a sloppy game. The Alabama game wasn't great, but Alabama made their free throws at the end.
Talking to Coach Wimp Sanderson right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And, Coach, a lot of people are comparing this era of both Alabama and Auburn basketball to the era of you at Alabama and Sonny at Auburn. Do you see any kind of those comparisons in terms of?
Well, I have never been one to do much comparing. I get asked every day who my best player was, and I never answer that. Who my best team was. I give them 2 or 3 teams that may be better than the others. I think Sonny had great teams. We had a great team. The interest, I would say, was just as good. The arenas were bigger, and we didn't fill it up quite as much. But the interest is just as good back in the 80s. I'm going to say this, and most people won't understand, won't agree. The best basketball that's ever played in the SEC was in the 80s. It was in the late 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s. For me, you couldn't win a game on the road. It's against the rules. You just couldn't do it. And some people will argue that. Somebody will call you in and say, just because he coached him, that's what he's saying. I really felt like I had a lot of great Birmingham players on my team, which I like. I like that because I felt like if you watched them play in high school, you have a chance to come back and watch them. We had great crowds, and that's just my feeling. And I'm sure I'm tempered in the fact that I coached that way, but I wasn't the head coach in the late 70s at all. But the teams were good. In fact, I'm having TR Dunn on my show tomorrow.
Outstanding.
And so, a lot of great teams back then, a lot of great teams now. I just think that they were so darn good. Here's the difference. The schedule is the difference. We played 18 games. We played everybody twice. So you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You have 3 teams that you play twice, and then they add 2 more teams to where you have 5 teams of the 18 games that you play twice. Well, if you get a break in the schedule, then your schedule is easier than ours. Because if you look up with the 5 teams that you play twice, and 2 of those teams are not very good, if you got 4 out of that 10, you can win.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the schedule is what I'm trying to bring out to people who are going to call and say bad things about me when I hang up. But that'd be fine. But if they knew the schedule as well as I know it, they would understand it. This year, for all the years, Alabama has had LSU, Mississippi State, and Auburn. Although those 2 games, Auburn, of course, has been very good. And then this year, Alabama, they added Florida and Tennessee. Auburn got Vanderbilt added to them this year, and that was a good break for them because that's 2 wins.
Yeah.
So you have to study the schedule, know what you're talking about, not be prejudiced about one year versus the other. I thought ours was awfully good. Hugh Durham was a great coach at Georgia. Sonny was good, and we had Joe Hall at Kentucky. It was great basketball, but to compare them, I wouldn't. I think ours was the best. To compare them, I won't do that.
So, Coach, I back then, every weekday game, my father would load up a van load and we'd come down.
Yeah.
He came. We all went to watch the basketball. He came to watch you.
Yeah. Well, I kind of got wound up there for our games, and I don't know. It just sort of took off, and I don't know. The bad stuff kind of caught on a little bit and got people maybe more interested in it. But whether we kind of looked into that, I had no idea. I wore a plaid sport coat a couple of times, and they wrote about it. And when they did, I said, the only problem with the plaid part was that it recognized me more than it did the players. And I didn't want that to happen. The players deserved the recognition, not me. But it caught on a little bit, and when it did, they started wearing plaid like they wear white now to the football games. And so by accident, it caught on, and along with that, we had good players. Players win games. That's what wins games. Coaches can help those players to be successful. Yes, some coaches are probably a little bit better than others, but basically, players win games. And if you can get your player, if you can recruit well, recruit better than your opponent, and you can get those recruits to play hard, then you got a chance to be successful. And I feel like that we recruited good players, and I think we got guys to play hard. So if they didn't, it's on the bench by me.
So, Coach, what did you look in for people, guys? Was there a certain thing that they had to have for you to recruit them?
Well, I think shooting ability is important. You got to be a shooter. You got to be able to shoot the basketball, and then you've got to have good enough feet to where you can defend well enough. But I think shooting is key naturally for you. We played the difference in basketball back then and now. We played inside out. We had Bobby Lee from up there. We had Leon Douglas. I had Derek McKee. We played inside out. The players, the coaches this day and time play outside in. I think probably they're able to recruit better than we did because of shooting the 3-point shot. Everybody and their mother thinks they can shoot a 3-point shot. So when you're trying to recruit a guy, you can tell him how many threes he's going to get to shoot. Well, he likes that. I didn't do it that way. I had good players inside, and Alabama does too. But I think it was just a different kind of basketball back then. But ours was inside out, and basketball now is outside in. And Nate and Bruce too both do a great job with their team. Get them to shoot good shots. If they don't, then I think the shooters don't worry about shooting bad shots, which is good. I think that helps them a lot. In my era, I used to laugh. My passers passed and my shooters shot. So that's the way I played, but that was a long time ago.
Well, Coach, I know you're in the high school gym. One rule change that just bothers me is getting rid of the 1-and-1 and going to 2 free throws. I like the 1-and-1. It adds a little pressure.
Yeah, add a little bit. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. a grandson playing tonight. My son's the coach at Northridge, and they're playing in the first game of the tournament, the Georgia State tournament. And we're at Paul Bryant Gymnasium, and named after my boss when I was gave me a job at Alabama. So I talk to Paul Jr. occasionally, and so that's where we are. And I'll get on the front row, away from the team, and I'll be sure that the officials see me.
I love it. Coach, enjoy it tonight. Thanks so much for spending a little time with us, Coach.
Yeah. Okay, good luck. Thank you.
And that is Wimp Sanderson joining us. He is just the best.
I love him, man.
It's
my
a
dad
shame.
absolutely loved him. He'd go and my dad would be watching Wimp. We
should be opinionated about something.
I know.
Goodness.
Well, I mean, he was a great coach.
Yes, he was. And knew how to push the right buttons in March.
He could get his players to play, I'll tell you that.
Yes, he could.
Yeah. In 1987 was one of the funnest. I went to almost every basketball game, home basketball game. Then I went to the SEC tournament. And I thought that team had a chance to win it all, and they ran into Providence with Billy.
That would be, oh gosh, I know
He's
who you're
the head
talking
coach
about.
now.
Yeah, well,
and
Billy Donovan.
Yeah, and the what was the head coach?
Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino. He owns a bunch of restaurants.
He's coach. Well, I'm sure he probably does. Probably owns a few hotels too, if you know his track record. But I think he's the head coach at St. John's now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, he was at
he was at Iona for a while.
And you didn't want to play Iona.
Yeah.
You don't want to play. His teams have always been good.
No. Alabama bumped into Iona a couple of years ago in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
To get out of that game.
They were.
He's a really good coach. But Billy Donovan was unconscious that game.
Something he said right there, going inside out rather than outside in. I mean, that is a big-time philosophy change.
Well, it's because of the three-point line, obviously. I mean,
and I get that,
but back in the day,
boy, basketball was fun back then.
Well, I mean,
not that it's young.
What's the movie Hoosiers?
Yeah.
If it didn't touch the paint, you were coming out, right?
That's right.
Had to touch the paint.
Had to touch the paint.
You had to at least touch the paint at least once.
That's right. So we're walking you up to some high school basketball here tonight as Buckhorn, the defending champs, are in the area championship game tonight. Bailey Lowry and John Abraham will have that play-by-play call, and that's going to start here in about 10 minutes time-ish. So let's go ahead and take our final timeout as we're live here from the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 2.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $6,282 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, title, and your good credit. Offer ends February 28th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed. The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at 5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Going to be quite nice. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us talking about the lower 60s. We're dropping into the mid and upper 30s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. A partly sunny sky on Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures consistently climbing into the low 60s. More cloud cover for your Thursday. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy. Still temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. Some of us looking at the lower 60s. We could begin to see a little bit of rain across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee as we head into your Friday. And Chief Meteorologist Jordan Radio on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Love sports? Set a course for adventure. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Come aboard. We're expecting you. The Love Boat. Sorry. Come aboard. We're expecting you. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's a shame Jen didn't get to hear that liner coming back. It is the season of love, after all. That's why I went with the Love Boat here for the month of February. As, of course, we're live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, walking you up to Buckhorn boys basketball as they're taking on the Lee Generals coming up tonight for the 6A Area 16 Championship. Bailey Lowry, John Abraham will have that play-by-play and probably kick us off here in about 10 minutes.
You're Yeoman
That's why. That is why we need to talk to Jen to get our Super Bowl pick and get ready for the Super Bowl. How are you, Jen?
Oh, I'm better now.
Always great to see you, Jen.
Good to be here and good to be seen. How's that?
Absolutely.
It's happy hour.
Yes, it is. So
it's always happy hour somewhere.
Always, but it's always happy hour here.
So
speaking of, drinks and all that, we've got a fun holiday coming up, Mardi Gras.
Yes, we do.
And we're the place to be for that. We have a parade.
I see the decorations.
Fun. Yes, downtown is fun. We're going to do a free buffet. So if you like gumbo and jambalaya, king cake, I have it all. And we're going to do that on Saturday. So we're going to have a jazz band. Won't that be kind of fun?
Yes, it will.
And we're going to have them play a little early. So you can go to the parade and then come on over and get you some grub, listen to some music. Doesn't that sound like a fun thing?
Y'all have the Mardi Gras umbrellas? Your dance tour?
Oh, well, I'm going to have lots of beads and all that good stuff. Masks, all that. I don't know about umbrellas, but I can get those.
She is capable. There is no doubt.
No doubt.
So we're going to do that. Plus, we've got this purple dragon drink. We're going to do a purple dragon martini.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
Got to keep with the green and purple. Okay. I even got glitter for the drinks. Won't that be fun?
Yeah.
For those that need it a little bit bougie, we got that going on. So anyway, we have a fun weekend.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl will be good.
Yeah, well.
My pick is San Fran.
Okay. That's
that
the
a good
favorite.
pick?
That's the favorite.
Oh.
They're
Okay.
a favorite by 2 over the
She's saying
Chiefs.
they're going to cover, basically, is what she's saying.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Is that your favorite?
I like
I'm
like
going
San Francisco.
I'm
do.
going. I'm actually going 49ers too. So
But I
this
don't- yeah, I don't-
this might be a bad deal right here.
Oh, at least
Since-
we're all on the same side.
Yeah.
That's good. So I guess I can't drink to anything different. We're all on the same side. Well, that's boring. Oh, wow. I guess we'll have to find something else to drink to.
So so what kind of festivities can we expect this weekend?
Oh, between Mardi Gras, well, we've got great bands. We got Big Daddy Kingfish. He'll kick off our Mardi Gras evening, so that'll be fun. Backing it up, the Matt Long Band. And then we've got Ty Moore, Whitney Merkel. And we've got just bands all week long, so it'll be a fun party-like place to be. So.
It always is a fun time at the Furniture Factory.
And football, oh my goodness, Sunday night will be covered up and super fun to be here Sunday night.
And the plush horse went well.
Yes!
Had tons of people, right?
Tons. It was such a big hit. You like our train?
Train is fantastic.
It wouldn't be the factory without it.
Absolutely.
No,
What a little
Plush Horse was
ambiance.
super fun. And I think people were tired of being in and loved to get out.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Weather's getting a little warmer.
Isn't it?
Thank goodness.
It feels a little bit like spring. We're going to be opening up this patio even earlier this year, so I think we're going to open it mid-March.
Nice.
Won't that be fun?
Oh, yeah,
That
ground.
is-
Get us out.
Yeah, I had a groundhog, got my game camera, run around. That's always,
Yeah?
early spring.
Okay, we're going to do that. Valentine's Day. So that's coming up too. We're going to do that.
It's a
and
week
have
from tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to have specials. So I'm doing surf and turf here. Does that
Okay.
sound good?
It does.
Steak and shrimp.
Yeah.
Sound good? We're going to do that.
Every day.
The steak lunch is that's the best deal in town.
I agree. So yummy. For those that are doing all that protein, that Atkinsy stuff, Well, I'm just saying.
And even if you're not,
Even if you're
I
not,
mean,
you still can eat it.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. So every time I get served a steak, usually Sarah will say, "Do you need A1 or steak sauce?" It doesn't
Nope,
need any
not
of that.
a thing.
It does not need a thing with it.
I agree. Why cook it if you can get it here from Pedro?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
1,000%.
anyway, this will be the place to be. All this next week is a week of partying.
And so you had, talking about earlier about a bunch of showings
Yes.
today.
Haven, I'm just kicking it up a notch next door.
Yeah.
So corporate events for those that need to have tag ups with their company. So I'm trying to kind of hit the market with that. Got great like bar food for that because sometimes these corporations need a place for all of their employees to meet for just 2 hours. So I'm opening up the doors for Haven, and that has been a good
Smart.
fit for a lot of these companies.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're going to be kicking up Rocket next door. We got great ideas in the works. That'll be this spring.
Well, we're sneaking up on wedding season.
Yes, so rehearsal dinners, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. I'm doing that. Birthday parties. This is the place to be at the factory or Haven. So we're kind of like that all-inclusive birthday.
All the cool
wedding.
people were born in February, so
Really?
There's
Is
no
that
question
you?
about that.
all the
I
cool
didn't know you had a
people.
birthday.
In fact,
I love birthdays.
somebody else has a birthday too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did not know it. Have
Yeah.
we passed him?
No,
Mr.?
no, not yet. No.
Well, I'm so glad to know. Well, I'll do something about that. We're the place to be for birthdays.
Yeah. But there is so much going on. How can folks get in touch with you?
They can look at our website, FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com. I've got like a party section, so you guys can catch me there, catch me here, or my cell, 256-426-1989. Or just trying to think of any other ways. I don't know.
Or just come down to the factory.
Yeah, it's happy hour.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in
It's
all that
always
traffic?
happy hour.
You just come on down here.
Thank you, Jen.
See ya.
So let's make way for the 6A Area 16 championship game between Buckhorn and Lee right now. Or you tell me, Brian. You said game is on.
They were there.
They were. You said there was a key word in that phrase. They were there.
Yes. For those of you who took grammar in school, that was past tense. And I spoke to John Abraham, and he assured me, and we did our checks and everything, and we were going to start at 5:50. And
Well, I'll tell you what.
These kids and their digital watches these days, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to play a little bit of Bruce Pearl from yesterday.
Is John Abraham old enough to tell time?
When the big hand gets to 12, the little hand.
I am having trouble with Coach Pearl, so here's a little bit more from Coach Oates. I promise. Coach Oates.
I think the first Auburn game was big for all our guys that hadn't played here before. Just to kind of, you can tell these guys what the intensity level is going to look like. It's you don't really know what it's about till you experience it. So Auburn's got a few more guys back that have played in these games before. Seems like Cardwell's been here every year I've been here, and he's a really good player. Broom's been there. Katie Johnson's been there a while. And you kind of go down the list of some of these guys that have. They've got some guys that have been in these games and understand it. So I think it was big for Grant, it was big for Aaron, big for Reitzel, all the freshmen, obviously. So, yeah, they'll have a little bit better idea. They don't know quite what it's like to go into Auburn's gym, but they have an idea what the intensity level in this game looks like.
That is a little bit more there from Coach Oates. As we are not on tomorrow, but we will be back on Thursday, as I'll be in Cleveland, Mississippi, getting ready for UAH Charger basketball, taking on the Okra of Delta State. And we'll also be here for you on Friday as well. I'll have more Charger basketball coming up on Saturday at Mississippi College as well. So that's a little bit of the schedule there basketball-wise, but it is area tournament time in a big, big way all across the state, and some area tournaments are just getting started. I think Huntsville is playing tonight, so is Grissom over at Huntsville High, as Huntsville is taking on they're taking on Sparkman, and Grissom is taking on Albertville, and so that's the first round. It's a win or go home scenario tonight.
Oh, wow.
For that 7A squad, those 7A squads. So,
okay, gang, we got the hamster back on the wheel. We're ready.
All right, let's go to Buckhorn High School, shall we?
Going, and it's going to be impressive of who the big playmaker is going to be on the Buckhorn side of the ball.
Yeah, like how you kind of brought it up too. I mean, with Coach Harding himself. I mean, this is primarily seniors on this Lee squad. I mean, a very older group and a very physical group. I mean, last time these two teams played, I mean, a lot of the battle took place in the paint, and you had a lot of guys like Ahmad Kim, Devin Chapman, like a lot of these guys stepping up to challenge Lee's post guys, and lo and behold, they came out on top when they were here at home. And some of you might be thinking too, it's like, well, wait a minute, it's like, doesn't it really not matter who wins this match tonight, since both these teams are going to be making it to the tournament? Not exactly. This is for the home berth, and we all know how important having home court advantages, especially for this Buckhorn squad, who this year remained completely undefeated at home.
For sure, Bandy. And the last time these two teams played, Buckhorn was able to get the win 74-59, but that was at the beginning of January. So, I mean, that is kind of a stretch that, these teams can kind of feel out each other. They can kind of understand. They go through these different matchups. They learn from those matchups. And there's a lot of learning that has been done from the Lee Generals. And that's why I'm thinking that tonight's going to be a lot more interesting than, the last two matchups that we saw. Because if you go all the way back to December 1st, we actually got to see a pretty close game in this arena right here, where Buckhorn was able to take it 59-50. And, I mean, that's going to be kind of the same pace we're going to see in this game. It's going to be a little bit slower on the scoring side. And we need to see if Buckhorn's going to be able to hit those threes, because we all knew in that last matchup against Nate Jemison, they were struggling with them. And also, we need to see who those young starters, young switching players are going to be, and see if they're going to be on it tonight, because we know that, Caleb Holt, Jeremiah Wilson, as well as Fred Derrick are all going to be giving it their all. Now it's just time for the whole team to kind of surround that energy and focus on that team play.
Hey, we're just 6 minutes from tip-off here in Newmarket, Alabama. But Captain Cool, what are some of these guys that you're kind of looking forward to on the Buckhorn squad? I mean, kind of doing what you were talking about, like really stepping up into their role really helping pushing this Buckhorn team to a win tonight?
Well, the first guy that comes to mind really is going to be number 11, Jordan Lindsay. We got to see a lot more play time from him against that Mae Jemison squad, and it's something that really Coach has been pushing. He's like, this is one of the guys that is going to be really making plays for our team. We saw him his first matchup just a few weeks ago. He was able to go 2 for 2 from the three-point line, and it was impressive. He was 100%. It was only 2 shots, though, okay?
Hey, that's still 2. Hey, 100% is 100%.
Oh, yeah. But then we got to see a little bit more productivity from him, but it was less productivity, just more shots. He was 1 and 4 in that last matchup from the three-point line against Mae Jemison, but it wasn't just him. The rest of the team was also struggling from the three-point line, and they had to get into the paint to score a majority of their points. That should change tonight. We're going to have Jackson Ramsey going all out. We saw him put up 18 against this team once before. Obviously, Jeremiah Wilson's going to be having a great game from the three-point line. On top of that, we go down the line a little bit. We might get to see Josh Wilkerson, who's been playing more of a role, as well as Devin Chapman. Those two have been doing some big stuff. Very explosive players for this squad, and also very young, and we're going to get to see a lot more of them going into next season.
Hey, like Coach described earlier, I mean, he's been playing a 8-man squad with this team, and hey, you get the rotations, like you said, kind of getting started early on, and then now here in postseason play.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you got your roles established. This is where you got your rotations in check. You got your game plan in check, and now it's just time to execute. It is the playoffs here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and we're just a little over 4 minutes away from tip-off between Buckhorn and Lee. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after a brief commercial break here. You are listening to Buckhorn Bucks basketball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
In sports, every point counts. And at Alpha Insurance, we know when it comes to your budget, every dollar counts. That's why we work to get you the lowest rates and best discounts available. Plus, every Alpha policy comes with personal service from our hometown team. So call Alpha to start saving today.